Jacob Blank is somebody that's an anomaly in this industry because he has done all of this at a young age, and at 22 years, he's got another 20 years plus before he reaches my age. Can't even imagine what he's going to accomplish. This is somebody to follow, guys. This is somebody to watch their podcasts, watch their YouTube channels, and watch them evolve past the evolution that they've already accomplished from 16 to 22 in the real estate industry. So he's going to share a little bit about the importance of building a brand and building that infrastructure. And even though it can be intimidating, we can all do it. We can all do it. So without further ado, please welcome my good friend, Jacob Blank.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Clicker's on the podium.
You.
I'm going to get your slide set up right now.
Okay, thanks. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Awesome. Thank you, guys. First off, thank you so much, Forrest, for having me speak here. Guys, this is a dream from 16 to now. This is everything I wanted to do, and that's why I'm going to talk about building your brand today, because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here standing on this stage. But first off, I want to go through my journey in real estate so that way you can get an idea of what I've actually done behind the brand in order to have that, that reputation in the space of actually doing deals. So my journey in real estate, I started at 16. I started by passing out flyers in mailboxes and knocking on doors and putting out bandit signs, as you can see. And then I got started cold calling. There's me shirtless in my living room making the dials, banging out the phone. And then I hired some cold callers in Mexico, and I started to gain some more traction by having people call for me and feed me the leads, because then I was able to talk to more opportunities rather than talking to cold stuff, talk to people that were already interested in selling their house for cash. Overall, it took me 8 months to get my first deal. So that's over 240 days of waking up every single day and deciding to show up again, right? And try again. And it can become very discouraging when you're not getting the results you want for that long. And actually 6 months into my journey, I got my first deal under contract. It was a house in Gilbert on a golf course. And I walked that buyer right there, Zachary Keeps. You probably know him. He owns like 240 houses here in town. He's the real deal. I walked him through that deal 6 months in, and he pointed out a bunch of foundation issues that I didn't notice, and the numbers didn't make sense. The deal fell apart 6 months in. I was extremely discouraged because I'd been trying for so long, and now the deal fell apart. But fortunately, I had the wherewithal to not give up, and I kept going. 2 months later, I locked up a house in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's right across the street from Horizon High School there in North Scottsdale. I locked it up for $400,000, and I wound up selling it for $430,000, and I got my $1,000 earnest money back. But there's the check. I made $30,000 right when I turned 17. So I started at 16, closed my deal at 17. Now I had $30,000. Now, most people would probably go ahead and blow the $30,000, when they're that young. Like, who's going to do the smart thing with it? But fortunately, I was in the game for too long at this point, right? I was willing to die trying. If I didn't succeed wholesaling real estate, then that was it. Basically, it was the only option. So at that point, once I got the money, I knew that it wasn't the time to blow the money. It was the time to reinvest the money. And now I had that proof of concept. And that's one of the best things. That's like the biggest icebreaker for your success in real estate. Once you complete your first transaction, once you complete your first deal, you get that proof of concept. Now you know I can go and rinse and repeat. What I did just worked. I'm going to do this again and again and again. And that's exactly what I did. So I started to grow my business. I had 2 cold callers at the time I did this deal. Once I got paid, I went to 4 cold callers, 6 cold callers, 8 cold callers. I did a $15K, a $20K deal, another $30K deal. And now I had some money, and I decided to get an office. There you can see I'm opening up my first office off of Union Hills and 32nd Street here in Phoenix. And it was a like 500 square feet office. And there you go, I'm setting it up. And then boom, I started doing deals and I started to scale. I got a new office here in North Scottsdale, and I grew a team. As you can see behind me, I had 9 sales reps on my team at the peak of my company. And we started to crush it. I've made $106,000 in a week. I've done a $130,000 deal. I've made $354,000 in a month. And These slides are even old. I've done a ton of stuff since. A couple weeks ago, I closed a $120,000 deal in California from a PPC lead. So overall, real estate has completely changed my life. And life started to look a lot different. There's me with my first dream car parked outside my high school that I wound up dropping out of sophomore year and doing online school. That's how I had so much time to do this business at a young age. I was doing online school. So I had all this time on my hands to become successful, and then decided to go back to the school. And I've been able to buy my beautiful mother gifts, but not only that, I've been able to forget the shiny things she's holding. I mean, that shows it, that represents it, but I've been able to take care of her financially and support my family, which has been one of the most rewarding things that has came out of this. And just remember to dream big. It all started from a dream, right? And so many people sell their dreams. Never sell your dream, right? Life's too short. You only get one life. You sell your dream, you're never going to achieve what you wanted to as a kid, right? We grow up, we say we want to be an astronaut or we want to be a fireman or whatever it was, and then we sell those dreams off, but you can't do that. If you dream big, you're going to be able to accomplish all these things. I've been able to speak on tons of stages across the country, been able to go on the All In podcasts and multiple podcasts and just do everything that I set my mind to. And the more you go out there and prove to yourself you can do that dream, you can achieve it, you can turn it into a reality, then the possibilities are endless. So let's talk about building your personal brand though. And how did that help me in real estate? I wouldn't be here today if I didn't build my personal brand. My personal brand has helped me so much. It's helped me get connected with people like Forrest, Cody, all these masterminds that I'm in, all these stages that I speak on, everybody that put on those events. I'm able to connect with the biggest guys in the industry, right? And I'm able to pick their brain. I'm able to collaborate with them. I'm able to lock arms with them and see what they're doing and implement those things in my business. And what you'll find, guys, in business is most of the time it's the small tweaks that really make the biggest difference in your business, that really make you go from making $100,000 a month to $300,000 a month. It's just tiny little tweaks. And so being around those high-level people is what's going to really, skyrocket your success. And that's what building my personal brand has given me the ability to do. Building my brand has to be number one, if not number two, top things that I have done that has helped my career as an entrepreneur by far. So let's get into it. How did I start? So you guys probably know Alex Sines. He was part of the All In Entrepreneurs. He was one of my first mentors. And when I was 16 or 17 years old, he told me, document the journey. People are going to want to see this. People are going to want to learn from you. You're so young. Nobody's out there doing this. Show people. Get people inspired. This is going to change lives. So once he told me that, I said, okay, screw it. I'm going to get on YouTube and I'm going to post a video. And this video is almost 4 years old. It's got about 30,000 views of how I got my first deal at 17 years old. And then you can see little kid me getting behind the camera and showing people how it's done. So that's how it started. So document the journey was the main thing he told me. He said, whatever it is, whatever you're doing, every single day, show people what you're doing. So document the journey, right? And then once you get to that level, you're going to have it all documented to then go ahead and show people in reverse. Here's where I started, here's where I am now, and actually show them, visually the progress, right? And when people can see things visually, that's where they get the most impact. So document the journey. Show what you're doing actively. Actively show what you're doing. This means Instagram stories. Post up what you're doing. I'm walking this property. We just got this deal under contract. Any buyers want to buy this deal? It's a 3-2, 1,200 square feet. It's here in Phoenix. Blah, 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 right? Just do that. Literally show everybody all day, every day what you're doing. I'm cold calling. I just hired more callers. That's literally as simple as it is. If you're building a business, you might as well also build a personal brand. So this is what I've built. I've amassed almost 200,000 followers across platforms from Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube over the years. And so those are the channels that I want you to focus on when you're building your brand. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Put effort into all of them, because what you'll see is that you can repurpose this content. It's not just for one platform. It's for all of them. And the wider the reach, right? Same thing with real estate. When you're marketing, you want to cast a wide net so you can find deals, right? When you're marketing, you're casting a wide net. The marketing, those same marketing methods, they go hand in hand with building your brand. So let's talk about YouTube. What is the benefit of YouTube? YouTube is great because it's built off of Google's search engine. So a lot of times real estate investors build real estate websites with a bunch of SEO, blogs and keywords and all of that, so that way their website can rank so sellers find it and they want to sell their house to them and they fill out the form on their website. It's similar to YouTube. You're able to do all that SEO with your title. You can be very scientific with how you do your title, your tags, your description, your video tags. All of that is going to help you get your video out there organically and grow no matter what. So some people are like, oh, I'm going to post, but nobody's going to view it, nobody's going to see it. Well, the great thing with YouTube is as long as you think about SEO, search engine optimization, it's based off of Google. As long as you think about that, you put your titles right, your tags right, your description right, when people are searching for how to wholesale real estate or whatever topic it is that your video is about, they're going to see it and they're going to watch it. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a lot of followers. If your video looks good, your thumbnail looks good, looks like they're going to learn something from it, they're going to click it, they're going to start following you. A big thing with YouTube is you want to make your videos 8 minutes or longer. That's where YouTube can put the most ads on the video. So you got to think about it, right? If YouTube wants to make money, right, they're not going to push your video as hard if it's a video where they can't put as many ads on it. So if you want your videos to get pushed further, make them in a way that YouTube can make more money off of them. So make them 8 minutes long. The big thing with YouTube is you're going to build a loyal fan base. These are also going to be people that like to get involved. They're going to send you their deals. They're going to work with you. They're going to buy your education. They're going to join your coaching program. These are loyal people. And then it's long-term. It's a long-term play. Just like SEO for building a real estate website is a long-term play, right? It takes a while to rank on Google. It takes a while for you to have all your blogs showing up and ranking high and start to get a lot of traction to your website. The same exact thing with YouTube. It's a long-term play. And then evergreen videos. So what is an evergreen video? An evergreen video is anything that starts with how to. So how to pull a list for motivated sellers, how to pull a list for wholesaling, how to skip trace, how to use e-signature, how to talk to motivated sellers. All of these evergreen videos, people are constantly going into YouTube and they're searching for them every single day. And so if you make 100, 200 evergreen videos on your channel, and you just throw them up there, you do all your SEO right, your channel is going to grow no matter what because you're going to show up when people are searching for things they need to learn. And that's what I've done. And I've been able to create a pretty successful YouTube channel. It's definitely my favorite social media channel that I've worked on by far. Next, Instagram. Reels are super good. You can reach a lot of people because they push them out there. It's a new thing that Instagram came out with. It's a couple years old now, but when Instagram and all these social media platforms, when they come out with a different method of posting, they want that to do well. So they're going to drive a lot of traffic to it. And so that's why Reels go a lot more viral. And so you're able to grow faster. And then we go back to those stories. Stories are super important to connect with people, right? We're at the deal exchange, so we're supposed to be networking. We're supposed to be connecting with each other. And that's what we can do with stories. We can show people what we're up to in the day-to-day, what deals we're doing. We can lock arms with other people, network with them, and get connected. So stories by far helped me grow my brand, especially in Arizona. By just being out in the field when I used to go and visit a lot of properties and just show what I was doing. Same thing with TikTok. It's short form, like Reels. You can go viral, explosive growth. They drive a ton of traffic to you. And that's within 2 months of getting on TikTok, I gained 60,000 followers in like 2 months. And then Facebook group. My Facebook group is at about 12,000 members. So if you're looking to, exchange deals and JV and partner with people, building a Facebook group related to real estate is super beneficial. How many of you guys have joined a real estate Facebook group? Right? Everybody's in real estate Facebook groups. So why not have your own? So I have a Facebook group that says Wholesaling Real Estate with Jacob Blank. Come wholesale with me, right? So people are joining real estate Facebook groups every single day. They're searching for new ones to post their deals and sell them. So it's one of the best ways to build your own to get your name out there. It's a free mastermind, right? A lot of these Facebook groups, you can get in there, you can connect, you can network. It's got all that community aspect to it. And now let's talk about a little bit more in-depth stuff. Building your email list is the gold of your brand. Building an email list is key. That's the gold. So people are going to view my stuff, but I'm not capturing any of their information so that way I can continue to follow them around, right? I want to, just the same way we want to market to sellers and the same way we follow up with sellers, when somebody watches my video, I want them to still watch my other stuff. I'm coming out with something new, I want them to watch it. I'm speaking here, show up, please. I want you to come meet me in person, right? I wouldn't be able to reach them and contact them directly if I don't build this email list. I come out with a new product, or I'm trying to JV deals with people. I need to be able to reach them. So building your email list is huge. And I didn't know what I was doing the whole time, just like when you get started in business, in real estate, you know, it's baby steps of learning. Same thing with the social media stuff. I didn't start building my email list till a couple of years into doing this, which was a big mistake. So you want to be on that right away in the beginning. Now, how do you build this email list? Freebie lead magnets. So, as you can see, I have free resources right there. That's a screenshot from my website. If you go to jacobblank.com/free, you're going to be able to download my purchase contract, my assignment contract, and my cold calling script for completely free. It's jacobblank.com/free. And right there, that's the lead magnet, right? So the same thing with all those QR codes, right? They want to get your information so that way they can reach out to you in the future. So make sure you're building your email list. And then when you're building an email list, most likely you're going to be having them go to a personal brand website. So you want to have that personal brand website where they are going to your website off that lead magnet, and then you have a bunch of other stuff that you offer there, a bunch of information about you, and you really present who you are as an individual there to build that brand out further. So if you want to check out my personal website, it's jacobblank.com. And then let's talk about the ecosystem. So everything circles back to each other. So the YouTube connects to says go to the Instagram. The Instagram says go to the TikTok. The TikTok says go to the Facebook. And it's just this ecosystem that you keep building. You want to make sure that everything goes in a circle, right? You go to you get my free contracts. After you get those, it's going to tell you to go get the free investor-friendly title company list. Then it's going to tell you to go back here and read more about me. And it just all goes in a circle, right? And that's how you want to think about this stuff. You want to keep people in your ecosystem, keep them on your brand. That's how you're going to get people to really know who you are and grow. And then this is where it's really changed the game for me. Your network truly is your net worth. I know a lot of people say it, but it is so true. Like I said in the beginning, I wouldn't be on this stage speaking if it wasn't for building my brand. I wouldn't be able to connect and rub shoulders with people that are super successful and get ideas from them and get advice from them if I didn't build my brand. Especially if you're young too, there's something crazy about it. I don't know what it is. Older successful people, they just want to tell you what to do. They want to pour into you. They want to see you become successful. It's almost like they're living through you. So building your brand, being able to connect with these people is huge. JV deals, we're doing a ton of JV deals at my company. If you want our help selling your deal, you can submit it at jacobblank.com/dispo. You see, it's an ecosystem. It all goes to the same place. It's a circle. But if you want help selling your deals, we have access to 4 million buyers as well. And we'll help you do that. But JVing tons of deals with people through the YouTube channel. People are sending me deals all the time. And that's no marketing dollars spent, right? I'm not having to do Google pay-per-click. I'm not having to do Facebook ads, cold calling, none of that. People are just sending me their deals, and I'm helping them find a buyer. Opportunities. The opportunities are endless. I don't just do real estate now. I have multiple different businesses that I run. If it wasn't for my brand, those doors would not have opened for me. The amount of doors that have opened from this is just crazy. And then name recognition. When doing business, it's extremely important to be known. Basically, if I want a deal off of InvestorLift or anybody's deal, I can call up anybody across the country and say, it's Jacob Blank on the line. And 9 out of 10 times they'll know who I am. And they'll want to sell me the deal rather than the other guy, even if my offer's a little bit lower, because of the recognition, name recognition. That's huge in business. Any business. If you're known as a real businessman, you really do the business, that's a game changer. Game changer. People are going to want to do business with you. They're going to want to sell you the deal rather than somebody else. So it's been huge. And then, guys, as far as mentorship, if you want to get coached by me, get involved with me, that's how. And then I'm going to just open it up for questions. If anybody has some questions, it doesn't have to be about brand. It can be about real estate, wholesaling. I've been able to build 7-figure wholesale business. My biggest year ever, we did just under 1.8 million, and we do at least 7 figures every single year. My first year, actually, it took me 8 months to get that deal. And then after I got that deal, it was the icebreaker, proof of concept. I did $120,000 in revenue that year. The next year, I did just under 600. Then I did 800. Then I did 1.2. Then I did that 1.8, and we've been doing $1 million ever since. And it's just been one hell of a journey. And yeah, questions, if anybody's got questions. Yeah.
I'm interested to know how you go about the process of hiring cold callers, and if you can share some really advice for us, because I've seen it as become quite difficult to know who's to hire and how. A lot of them honestly just didn't work out. At the one that I tested. So if you have any resources you can share or any advice on that.
Yeah, it's become difficult with what call centers to trust. There is one call center that I do trust. It's in the Philippines. It's thecallgenius.com. But a lot of my callers, I have a few there, and then I also hire them direct. And a good way to do that is through Facebook groups in Mexico on border towns. So I used to go to Rocky Point, Mexico a lot, and I would hire people there. And I would also hire people there through Facebook groups. So another good border town is Nogales. Nogales, it's right outside Tucson. So they've all went to high school in Phoenix and then went back to Mexico. So they've graduated high school. So their English is super good. They understand everything. And they'll call for $4-5 an hour, and they work for you direct. So if you go in those real estate Facebook groups, you can also do Hermosillo, Mexico. Those are great ways to find callers.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Anybody else got any questions? Yeah. Like as far as AI calling, that's came out.
But I mean, even workforce planning, AI is really coming in many spaces.
Yeah, so I've been using AI for my personal brand. So when it comes to my YouTube videos, I'll go ahead and have like ChatGPT write me a script for my videos, stuff like that. It's super good. Even for short form content, you can have AI do that. And then like if you're struggling to come up, like if you're text blasting, like you can use AI. Anything in business, if you're using your own mind, a lot of times I do go and just put whatever I'm trying to think of in ChatGPT and see what it tells me. And not all the time is it language that I'm going to necessarily use, but it helps me get bigger ideas, think of something that I wouldn't have thought of. And so, yeah, I try to use it as much as possible. I still think it's the early stages, though. Yeah.
How did you overcome, or I'm not sure if you had one of the biggest things is like getting the phone, documenting yourself. Like, how did you overcome, that barrier, that mental block of like putting yourself out there and documenting?
Yeah, my brand would be way bigger if I stopped caring what people thought sooner. I definitely cared what everybody from my high school would think, but who cares what they think now? And so you shouldn't care. And so take it from me, don't care what people think. I think most of the people from high school have unfollowed me now just because they don't want to see real estate in their face every day, which I understand. But now, like everybody, when I go out and I run into people from high school, like they're all super like so proud of me and all this. But it was embarrassing for sure, and I looked dumb and cringe and awkward and lame and stupid. The whole thing probably is what I'm thinking when I'm posting this stuff. But look what it's done, right? So the benefits outweigh the negatives by far. And at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is when you look in the mirror, what you think of yourself, not what other people think of you. So another hard thing, though, was I was so young trying to buy houses from people. So a lot of that work came from looking in the mirror, trying to learn how to present myself better, talk better, speak better, communicate better, present myself better. That's how you get past that roadblock for sure. And then with my first deal where I made that $30,000 assignment fee, that seller, I went to the house, I showed up in person, and I feel like that seller just definitely wanted to give me a shot, right? And like I said, like a lot of times people want to pour into you when you're young, and that's true. Sometimes you'll have that opportunity. Somebody just wants to give you a shot when you're young, and take it, don't miss it. And I think that's what it was there. They said, seems like he's going to buy the house, but maybe not, but let's give him a chance. And it worked out. Anybody else? Yeah.
When you have objection offers, like you give an offer and objections, how do you handle that?
Yeah, so a lot of people struggle with jumping on the phone, dealing with objections, dealing with no, right? They get discouraged. The biggest thing for me was, this is how I thought of it. I did a reframe, and mental reframes are so important in so many areas of life to reframe situations. So I was a little bit scared to get on the phone, I guess, but instead of thinking of it like, oh, this is scary, I would think this is a prank call. I'm just calling Domino's Pizza to mess with them, but I'm actually going to try to make some money. So that's how I would just, wasn't scared to pick up the phone. This is a joke, essentially, but maybe I'll make some money from it, so I would just get rid of the fear like that. And then another big thing was slowing down, right? A lot of times, I didn't necessarily have this problem too bad. It went away quickly, but a lot of times when I hire salespeople, they get on the phone and they're talking so fast. And it's because they're all that if you practice your communication skills, you become good at communicating. And you learn how to talk like a professional, and you become knowledgeable in your space, then you're leading the call. You're essentially in charge of the call. Most of the times you'll find that you're the one ending the call, not the seller. Because I call it, once you have them, you have them. When they pick up the phone and they say, okay, yeah, I'll accept an offer, we can talk for a little bit, they're going to give you time. Most of the time it's you finishing the call. So that means you get to control the pace, the speed. So instead of talking so fast because you're nervous, slow it down. There ain't nothing to be scared of. Slow it down. You're going to perform way better, speak way better, and get more deals like that. Anybody else? Yeah.
You talk a little bit about when you first, like this came to your brain, or were like, hey, I think I'm just going to do online school, and start doing.
Yeah, so I got sick with mono sophomore year, and I needed more sleep, so I couldn't make it to school. Like, I needed more sleep, or I kept getting more sick, so I had to do online to get better. And all my friends were like switching to online too, so it just made sense. But then I found out about Alex Saenz, and he started at 18, and he was on YouTube posting about it, so I started watching all his YouTube videos, and I got hooked. My dad was a realtor too, so I'd been around real estate growing up, not the wholesale stuff, but when I saw this, I'm like, wow, this is possible. This kid was 18 years old, he did it, I could do this, and I was hooked. And so for 3 months straight, I just watched YouTube, and I had a notebook, and I would journal in this notebook about strategies about wholesaling real estate, marketing, transaction coordination, you name it, every single part of the business for 3 months. Once I felt I had a well-rounded understanding of the business, then I took action on the knowledge.
But
Yeah.
I'm more interested. So where this question's coming from, I have a 14-year-old stepson and a 14-year-old, they're 10 days apart, and then a 14-year-old half brother.
Yeah.
Both of them come to me all the time. Hey, Donnie, real estate, because that's what they've been watching me, just like your dad, do. And they're like, we just want a Lamborghini. And I'm just like, in my brain, like, well, that's not really how it works. So like, I'm trying to figure out where your mind space was at to kind of figure out those steps and then implement the action in order for you to grow fruition.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's a broken mindset that a lot of people have getting into the wholesaling space, is they want a Lamborghini. When I wanted to build businesses, like I wanted to build business, that's what it was all about for me. So it's important to come into it with the right mindset, otherwise you're never going to build a successful business. What you'll notice is most wholesalers are running on like $10,000 in their transactional account because they blow all their money on shiny objects. And that's because they come into the business with the wrong mindset. And that's why when the real estate game got hard over the past year and a half, most of them got washed out. But for me, I always was like, had this entrepreneur mindset. So before real estate, I started a whole business on OfferUp and Craigslist flipping junk. I'm sure you've seen Ryan Pineda with the couch flipping. I was just flipping anything I could get my hands on. It started with whatever we had in the house. And then I partnered up with people. So like my grandma had a handyman that had like a garage full of stuff. And I'm like, okay, here's my service, right? You need to bring value to the table, right? So my value was, I'm going to sell all your stuff for you. You give me 50%. I'll do it all for you. You don't have to do nothing. I'll clean out your whole garage. Thanks. And we had a deal. And so now I had tons of inventory, and I just kept doing that. So I always had this mindset, this business mindset. But the most important thing is getting excited about it in the first place. And so if they are excited about it, it's on you to, show them the ropes, right? So that's awesome. And have them watch me. That'll help.
Well, right. So the proposal I came up with, I'm like, I can hire you both. You guys will be my marketing content because I want that talks to teens ages 13 to 19, and you guys will be the ones basically running the show because I need your brain. I'm not going to ask the questions to your level of comprehension and what you're wanting to hear, how you're wanting to hear the material, and then bringing them to offsite deals because my husband's a GC, so that they actually see from both ends of like the GC and then from like the buyer-seller standpoint.
Yep.
And then I told them the ultimate goal is to purchase their first property at 18.
Yeah.
So save up, and that's like where I'm trying to drive them because that's their business model, and then they can rent out the rooms to their friends, and then they think they're happy.
Well, that sounds like a phenomenal idea. That sounds like almost like what I did, but planned. So that would be great. And both of them would have a great brand too in the real estate space by the time they're 18 too, and then they'll be on stage like this. So that's a good idea. I like that. That's awesome. Anybody else got any other questions? Yep.
What was like the pivotal moment, or what changed that allowed you to scale from, you know, that first year in wholesaling to 1.1?
Yeah. The biggest thing with becoming consistent and making more money in this business, actually in any business, it's called a cushion. So for example, if you're doing one deal a month, but it's like you're not always doing one deal a month, because if you're doing one deal a month, there's no way you're consistent in doing that every month. You got to be doing multiple to make sure you do them. It's called a cushion. So whatever amount of leads is getting you one deal a month, double it. Now you're for sure going to at least do one deal a month, right? Because you've doubled the opportunities that are flowing into your business. And you're probably going to do now 2 to 3 on good months. And so that's what I did. And I just kept upping the lead volume. And then the other thing that was huge to go from like doing six to 800,000 to doing almost $2 million was going virtual. And for some reason, I feel like it's a lot easier now. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like people are less scared of it now. But back when I started in 2019 wholesaling real estate, so back then a lot of people were super nervous about going virtual, leaving their own market. And I do every deal I do in my own market virtual now. You waste all your time driving out to the house, all that drive time, the appointment, and then they don't sign the contract. It's a waste of time. Try to sign everybody over the phone, over the computer. Most markets are fairly similar when it comes to comping the property and figuring out what they're worth. So don't be scared to go virtual. So it was about creating that cushion of opportunities, making sure my company had an ample amount of opportunities flowing in, and then also expanding to other markets.
Last question, I guess. What are your strongest markets right now?
Yeah, my strongest markets right now are all B markets. So any state, you could choose pretty much any state where you know wholesaling is good, and then find the good B markets. So, like for example, North Carolina is good. We've done a ton of deals in Raleigh, Charlotte, Greensboro, but it's become more challenging there. And house values are a little bit higher there than like High Point, North Carolina. So High Point, North Carolina is a great B market. Also, when searching for markets right now in this rate environment, the way interest rates are, you need to be working in markets where the median home value is between $150,000 up to $250,000. If you're working in markets where like the median home value is around $400,000, it's a lot harder to move those deals to buyers because their money is costing them so much more right now.
Okay.
So those are how you find good markets right now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody else? Yeah.
How was the tax side of everything?
Say that again?
When you were starting out, how was it, like, were you not nervous about the tax side of everything?
Taxes?
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be worried about tax till you make some real money, then worry about that. So no, wasn't worried about it. All I was focused on was money generating activities, which is most important. When you have no money coming in, you got to be focused on money generating activities. Yeah. You got one more? Did you have one?
I was going to ask you about your coach mentors.
Yeah. So I got that $30,000 deal, and I instantly paid the all-in entrepreneurs $25,000 to join their executive elite program. So I was all in, right? I had that proof of concept now that I closed the deal. I had $30,000 in my hand. I had $5,000 still that I could throw back into marketing, so I was good. I had a couple other deals that I was working on that I felt like I was going to close. So I was like, shoot. These guys are crushing it. I learned from Alex, right, from his YouTube channel. It just made sense to pay him, and that was a complete game changer for me. Mentorship is key. Mentorship is key to success in business. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely harder to find mentors now. More so, it's like I go find mentors in certain niches. So like in like different marketing channels. Like, so for example, I've probably spent in the past 6 months, 25 grand on learning PPC from different people. So whether that was Sean Terry's PPC course, or I've hired people that work for agencies to run campaigns to mentor me and jump on Zoom calls with me every week to teach me PPC. So it's more like I go and I get mentorship in certain avenues, but I don't have necessarily a high level like business coach at this time. Yep. Anything else? Or is that it? It answers it all. There we go. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you.
Jacob Blank, ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you, bro.
I super appreciate you giving me
Yes,
that
sir.
Corvette.